And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you across Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Glad to have you with us on this gorgeous, beautiful morning. Well, it's almost midday. We had another problem here in the reclaimed hayfield. We had a problem with our first cutting in the test plot that I really haven't talked about. It was behind the scenes. A brief summary of that. We cut our hay in the test plot on a Monday. We tedded twice Tuesday, tedded Wednesday. Started to ted Thursday morning. We came outside we was out earlier that morning and everything was fine. It's a little breezy. I alluded to the wind in the baling video. It blew our windrows around, but this was a lot worse. The hay was all spread out in the test plot, drying nicely, thick but drying. We came out early that morning, took care of our poultry, things of that nature, went back home for a little while, give the surface area time to dry any dew on top of the hay. Came back out about 11 a.m. to fuel the tractor, get ready to ted. And when I walked out into the test plot, I was in shock. We had a storm front on the radar. I saw it that morning. I watched it because I was afraid it might hit us, but it didn't. The rain went around us. About 11 a.m. I came back out to the farm and I went to the test plot to get ready to start tedding that test plot, and I was in shock. Our test plot and our barn sits on a ridge top. It goes off kind of off both sides. And our test plot sits on the southeastern side. The wind got up so bad it blew every bit of our test plot hay down the hill. When I walked off into our test plot extension where it goes into a woods line, every bit of that hay, that thick hay from that test plot had blown down the hill and was piled up probably waist deep off the hill down into the edge of where we stopped mowing, into the weeds. It was a near disaster. I took a pitchfork and a rake and thought, well, I better get to putting that back up the hill. It's going to be ruined down here. The pitchfork and a rake to pull that hay out of the weeds and out of the woods line, back up into the field, and push it and spread it back up into the test plot, and then take the tedder and spread it back out. It blew that hay. You'd had to seen it to believed it. I stood there for about 2 or 3 minutes when I first saw it in like shock almost, like what in the crap happened here? It's like somebody had taken a real powerful blower on the back of a tractor, like a leaf blower, and blew every bit of our hay down in. We cut our reclaimed hayfield where I'm at now. We cut it Friday. The weather forecast said clear for the next 3 or 4 days. On Sunday, there was a very slight chance of rain, only like 25%, which that means there's 75% chance it's not supposed to rain. This is Monday. Yesterday evening, Sunday evening, it was dark, cloudy all day. Yesterday evening, about 5 p.m., the rain started for at least an hour. And then last night, about 11 p.m., I could hear it raining again outside, and it rained again for about 45 minutes and quit. Hasn't rained since. Now the forecast for the next 5 days is beautiful sunshine, warm weather. However, our test plot had been cut. We cut it Friday and it rained on it Sunday evening. Not a lot of rain, but nevertheless rain. Man, this first cut has been a struggle. We've been on the struggle bus big time this first cut. Let me show you a little bit of this hay. Nice and warm today. We got a good breeze. Have had a breeze blowing all day so far, which is fantastic. The top's getting good and dried back out, but let me grab some. Look at the underside of it. There's a piece of deer tongue. If you can see, the top side is looks crispy, it's dry. However, if you look at the underside, it's still a little bit green. And I don't think the camera will show it, but you can almost see water glistening in some of this on the very bottom where it's the thickest. Let me try to choose another representation here so it's a little thicker. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. It's wet to the touch, very wet. The top's dry, the bottom's wet from the rain yesterday. So yesterday after church, about 2 p.m., I walked out here and looked at the hay. Well, I rode the ATV out here. I went back home and told Susan, I said, that hay is not far from being able to be baled. It has dried fantastic. It's looking really good, minus the weeds in it, but I'm talking about the moisture content. Then about 5 p.m., here come the rain. So it's just kind of one blow after another, this whole first cut. We're dealing with it to get this hay dried back out properly as best we can. Tedder. If we didn't have this tedder, this field may be a loss. However, I think with this Rhino PT207 2-basket tedder, I think we might be able to salvage this hay because it didn't rain on it like for 4 or 5 hours. So we've got the tedder back out here. I was planning on no more tedding. The next step out here probably tomorrow was to rake and bale, or maybe even today, but that's out the window now. The wind's about to blow my camera over. Hope you can see this wind. That wind really good for our dry down again. So we're gonna fire up the Kubota and the Rhino tedder, and we're gonna turn this hay probably twice today. We'll turn it now, we'll come back out here about 4 p.m., kick it again, and cross our fingers and hope for the best. That's all we can do at this point. It's been a struggle, and the struggles continue. We had struggles baling because of the wind. I raked the windrows and the wind would just, all of a sudden here would come a gust of wind and you could just see the windrows start flipping in places. Blew our hay and our windrows, made a mess. But we done the best we could and cleaned up later and got most of it up. It took a lot more time. So let's get this tedded before it gets any later while this wind and this sun is nice and bright, and get this hay flipped so it can start drying. reclaimed fields retedded. Haze was yesterday evening was starting to really get crispy before that rain came. Starting to dry down pretty darn good. Timothy, deer tongue. It's I don't think we got enough rain to do very much harm. I got out here and looked at it really good just a few minutes ago after I got off the tractor and the tedder, and it set it back just a little bit, but not bad. It is what it is. It's going to be whatever hay it is anyway with the weed load it has, but we got it retedded out. Nice sun, a lot of wind. A minute ago I seen a bunch of our hay go blowing down the hill a little bit while I was tedding it. That tedder kicking it out and one big wind gust caught it, and half of it went down on the steep part of the field where we can't mow, or we can't even get a tractor. Hopefully no more of it does that. But it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm really liking seeing all this Timothy that's in it. That's good. I'm not like seeing all these weeds. But it is what it is, and we knew that going in. Like there's a blade of a deer tongue. All right, we're gonna leave it be. We will probably actually come back out here in about 4 hours and kick this again, just because of the rain that was on it, and that'll probably be it. We will probably bale this possibly tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, or the following day, one of the two. But hopefully this evening will be the last tedding. We might have to ted it again tomorrow morning. We'll just see, but it's possible tomorrow midday after the dews all burn off and it's dry through and through, we'll start raking it. Hayfield's raked. The hay in it's got a lot of Timothy, a lot of orchard, some fescue, and a lot of weeds. But we're going at it. We've made the best hay we could make, and I feel like I'm in the dark here. We've made the best hay out of it we can make. We stayed on top of it, tedding it, and keeping a close eye on it. This hay is, we're gonna bale one bale, stop, check the bale, as typical for what we do. Check the twine wrap, check the density setting, check that everything's good, and when we stop, we'll check the moisture content. This is day number 4. We cut on a Friday evening, and it's now Tuesday evening, and we've had sunshine and a good breeze. This hay's ready. The only day we did not have sunshine was Sunday, and we did for a while Sunday morning, but Sunday evening, all evening, it was cloudy and not poured the rain, but we had some showers. So we're ready to start baling. Baling in the reclaimed field's done. My son-in-law helped me. Thanks to him for being the ride and drag and catching these bales before they roll off the hill. We are going to start collecting the bales and see what we got. Moisture content was good in all of it. So Kubota ran good, the little Farm Maxx baler ran good. We're gonna get all this hay loaded up and hauled to the barn. Stay with us. We appreciate you being with us today here on the farm as we finished up our first cut of hay for 2024. The reclaimed hay field is done. We got a last load of hay here off the field right as it's getting dark, and everything worked out really well. The baler ran good, the tractor ran good. I had some good help. Really appreciate the young man that helped me out today catching these bales. If I don't have somebody riding drag on that reclaimed field, every one of my bales will end up down at the bottom of the very steep pasture into the fence. He caught all of them and helped me get them off the field, and I really appreciate him. It's a lot of work, and we got it done and got the tractor put in the barn, the baler cleaned and put in the barn and parked, and everything anticipating our second cut. I was out earlier today looking at our main hay field and the test plot, and boy, they're looking really good. Just to have been cut a week and a half ago, goodness gracious, it's growing back. Hopefully we're going to have a good second and hopefully a third cut. It's only going to get better from here. We cut this hay on a Friday evening, and we kicked it Friday late, and then again Saturday and Sunday afternoon and evening. We got about 0.15 inch of rain, so it did get some rain on it, but it wasn't much. So because of that rain, yesterday, Monday, we kicked this hay twice. We went out with a tedder and tedded it out about noon, and then again about 4 p.m. Went out today and looked at it, pleasantly surprised. It was dry, ready to bale. So we waited till this afternoon, left it out until about 4 p.m. and we started baling. I raked it beforehand and inspected the windrows and then started baling it, and it turned out a lot better than I thought to have some rain on it. But it's got a lot of orchard grass, a lot of timothy, some Kentucky bluegrass, and some tall fescue, and a fair amount of weeds. That reclaimed hayfield is a work in progress, and we're working on it, but pleasantly surprised with how much orchard and timothy was in it from our frost seeding. Done real well. A lot of timothy in this hay and orchard grass. We're quite pleased with it. So our first cut's done, completely done. The main hay field, the test plot extension, and the reclaimed field are all done. We got a very late start this year, but we're really anticipating a second cut. Probably within the next couple of days, I'm going to spray the reclaimed hayfield again with a different herbicide than we've been using. 2,4-D has done its work. The weeds that 2,4-D will get rid of pretty effectively are almost gone. And now it's on to something else. We're going to a little better herbicide, still with a low residual effect, but a better herbicide to start trying to get some more of these weeds under control. And that'll be the next step, and then we'll let that herbicide do its thing for about a week. Then we're going to put fertilize on the reclaimed hayfield, punch the weeds, and feed the grass. So thanks for being with us today here on the farm. It's about to get dark, and we're going to head in, and it's been a full day, but it's a good day. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for being with us throughout our first cut here on the farm. We really appreciate it, and can hopefully have some good second and third cuts coming up. Thank you, and we appreciate you. God bless you and your family. Hope you all have a fantastic evening.